What's up, you guys? Happy Friday. Dr. Harper in the building. I am your maestro at QTV Multimedia, where pictures are worth 1,000 words, but the video tells it all. We have a special guest in the building. I'd be remiss if I don't read her bio. Dr. Sylinda D. Mumphery is an author, evangelist, international speaker, talk show host, visionary leader, and the founder of Removing the Bandages Ministry and Women's Movement. Her life and work are rooted in healing, purpose, and empowering women to walk boldly in who God has called them to be. Through her personal journey in overcoming profound loss and adversity, including the loss of her home, car, marriage, health challenges, and life-altering trials, Sylinda emerged with an unshakable faith and a powerful message. Healing is possible and purpose still stands. I like that. What once threatened to break her became the foundation of her calling. She encourages women to confront pain, release hidden wounds, and step fully into emotional, spiritual, and personal freedom. Hey, you got Dr. Sylinda Mumphery. Welcome to QTV, good sister.
Hey, I am so excited to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Glad to have you. Glad to have you. How you doing today?
I'm great. Look, any day above the ground, I am good. My aunt always say this, I'm blessed by the best.
Blessed by the best, no stress. So we're gonna jump right into it. So take us back to a time, perhaps in your childhood, when who you are now, when it became and to start to manifest. Take us back and then just catch us up to speed.
Oh wow. Well, as a child, I always had this vision of being somebody special, doing something special, helping others. I've always been that type of person, mainly because of my mom, seeing how she lived her life. And so, to fast forward to where I am today, I I think a lot of things that I went through, as far as not having my father in my home, not having that male figure, things I had to learn, the things I had to figure out on my own, looking for love in all the wrong places because I didn't have him in my life, wanted to be loved, wanted to feel like I was worthy, just looking for that confidence and always looking for it in somebody else. And I really wanted that from my dad. It brought me to the place to where I am now. You know, broken girls grow up to become broken women. I always say that. So there was a parts of my life where I was broken. But as I grew older, I realized that there was something special about me. There was something in me. I didn't have to be a broken person. I didn't have to live that life knowing that I had God in my life as my father because I didn't have my father there physically, brought me to the place to where I am now in helping women, helping girls, helping them to understand that there is something inside of them. They don't have to settle. They don't have to, just lay down with just anybody, knowing that they are worthy, that they are blessed by God, and that they're just somebody. It brought me to the place to where I am now to be able to help others.
Right. So let me jump back in there, and I want to let's go back a minute. Like being that little girl, like what are some of the things that need to be highlighted that little girls miss out on now that we are grown? Because little boys need mom and their father as well. But as a young lady at your age at the time, knowing looking back, what are some of those attributes that you would say that's missing, that probably every little girl that doesn't have a father at home misses? What are those things have you identified now as an adult?
Having your father there, I remember getting married, not having my father to walk me down the aisle, not having my father at my graduation, not having my father to see me there when I went to the prom, my first prom. You know, I was a cheerleader too. Just having him to, sometimes it's not all about the football players, your father sitting up in the bleachers watching the football players, but even as a cheerleader, just looking up and seeing him at the graduation, there's just so much that I missed out on as a daughter or a little girl, just not having my father there, being the first man to speak into my life to tell me that he loved me and there was no motive behind it, not trying to sleep with me, not wanting to just get something from me and say that I love you. I missed out on having that, and so many young girls miss out on that when they don't have that father figure there. Your father is supposed to be the first man to speak into you, not just speak to you, but to speak into your life, telling you who you are and everything that you possess as a woman and how men should treat you. I missed out on that. And that's what a lot of girls are missing out on, which causes us to make certain decisions in our lives that we later regret. And boy, did I regret some things.
I know that we try to heal people that have those scars and those trauma and those wounds. But then again, I want you to speak to the girls now from that standpoint, and also to speak to the dads that when they're absent, that they don't know how important they are to the home.
Yeah, there's something that I always say whenever I see a father with his daughter, it just does something to me. When I see the love and I love that daddy's girl, it's something that just warms my heart because I did not have it. I told a story just today of my father died when I was young, but he really wasn't there even, growing up. I remember um one day I was on my grandmother's porch, and I talk about this in one of my books. And my father passed by on the motorcycle, and I screamed, "Daddy, Daddy," because I wanted him to come back. I wanted my daddy. But he just blew the horn and he never came back. The next time I saw him was him laying in a casket. He was gone. And so for a long time, I held a lot of resentment on the inside of me, just mad because he never came back, because I was waiting, but I never saw him until that dreadful day. And it was not until I became an adult that one day I went to a relative's funeral and I went over to the grave and I was able to say, I forgive you. And it was like I actually exhaled at that time because I always wanted my daddy. I just wanted him to say, I love you. I wanted him to wrap his arms around me. I wanted him to be that man that I was missing in my life. And when I see young girls with their fathers, it just is such a blessing because every little girl needs that. She needs that father figure. She needs to know what it's like to have a man in her life. She needs to, um, the world that we're living in now is so over, I say, sexualized, and this is what we show our young girls. Show your body, give up your body. This is if you want this, if you want that, just give up your body to a man. But to have that man there that loves you for real and he's protecting you, every little girl wants to be protected. We all want that, even as grown women, we want to be protected. And so, young girls now that are making those wrong decisions, this is what we're seeing. This is what the world is glorifying. You show your body, do this, do that, and then you can get what you want. But when you got that dad in your life that's there and standing 10 toes down, like, I got you. I got your back. I'm going to make sure you're taken care of. It's truly a blessing. And that's what we need. We
Right,
need
right,
that. Mhm.
right, right. And also too, I want to interject as well. Like, not only to be present, but a lot of time too, how we treat each other, meaning mom and dad. Because sometimes fathers can be in the home, but if she's seeing how dad treats mom or how mom treats dad, that's another story,
Mhm.
of that caliber. You had only met your father twice, or really once, or is this what you're saying?
Well, no, I mean, being a little girl, didn't know much because I was a little girl. He and my mom were separated, so yeah, not knowing a whole lot about him, but I knew Daddy. I knew
Right,
Daddy,
right, right.
and I
So
wanted that relationship with him.
right, right, right. So again, I just want to kind of take our time. So when as you got more mature, what were some of the things that you can speak on that you ran into that not too personal, but just some of the things that the listeners and viewers can say, hey, you know, I don't have to go that route because I heard this message today. But what, or maybe a couple of things that you, like you said, looking for, you know, love in the wrong places, things of that's one thing. But can you mention anything else that lack of took you to or experience from just not having that father figure?
I think that would be the most dominant thing that I can relate to, just
Mm.
not having that father figure and making those wrong decisions, being in wrong relationships, just dating the wrong people, and just because a guy say I love you, or you're beautiful, you got it going on, those type of conversations. You're like, oh wow, he just called me pretty. He said I was beautiful. He said that I look good. He asked me for my phone number because you want to feel beautiful. So just making those wrong decisions, I would say would be the dominant thing that I actually lived through or had to endure, as you would say.
I think we all look at the glam and beauty, but we think that's all we have to offer. You know, we think that's what we have to offer the world. And when you're looking at television and movies and listen to the music, most definitely,
Oh yeah.
it's there's no substance, you know. And we hear conversation through the music, through TV, you know, of what attraction is, and sometimes outside of the attraction, a lot of times there's nothing. And I believe as young man too, because I always tell my cousin when I run into him, hey man, keep that thing in your pants, because that doesn't make you that doesn't make you a father. What can you speak to their current situation to those people that's going through it right now? What would you tell them? What mindset, and where do they go?
Well, you really have to get into a place of knowing who you are, really knowing that you are somebody, developing a relationship with God, making sure that you do have. Now, I had uncles in my life, I had cousins, people or men that I could talk to. So, if you have that in your life, you develop that relationship with someone that can be that male figure in your life. Making sure that it's someone that you can trust, and someone that would be able to speak into you, whoever that may be, and just really knowing who you are is the most important thing in developing a close relationship with God. That's what you
Because
got to have that relationship with God.
you know, at a certain age, I think females are all into the looks. It's just all about, you know what I'm saying, how loud look, and not knowing there's so many predators out here, you know what I'm saying, that they see that beauty is a weakness for those at those ages. As we see today's time, the kidnapping, sex trafficking at those ages, like as a woman, and where you are now, what is something that mothers need to do or tell their daughters right now?
Oh yeah, mothers definitely. I can go back to when I was a little girl. My mother speaking into my life,
Mhm.
telling me who I was, telling me that I was beautiful, telling me that I was worthy. That's very important. You have to be able to speak into your daughter's life and let them know that you are worthy. It doesn't matter how you look, it doesn't matter where you come from. You are somebody. You got to really dwell that into them. You got to make sure that each day that you're teaching them how to speak life into themselves, you got to speak life into them. You got to be the example. So my mom was the example, making sure that that is a part of their life and that you're not allowing social media to raise them. So you got to be able to speak life into them, keeping them around positive things, having positive friends, having the friends that want something out of life, that they're able to speak into you, they're able to hold you accountable. Even as young people, you still need to be held accountable. You need to make sure that you're hanging around the right people, your parents, making sure that they know who their children are around, what type of parents they have, and just really having been around the right crowd, making that decision to be around the right crowd, and not remember what your parents taught you. I had to remember
Exactly.
a lot of things my mom taught me.
Exactly. And I'm gonna shout out to my mom, Dr. Harper. Even as a male, like we all need those confirmation affirmations. And we most definitely got that, because I think we all go through maybe if not live long, a period of time where either depression or just that feeling of self-worth. Right now, image is everything, self-worth is everything. And I tell my children, if you don't know who you are, there's some people outside waiting to tell you who you are. And not only that, if you don't know who you are, then when you will answer to anything. So you always go for the you look good. I tell my daughters, yeah, you have to know that already. Even though if a guy give you the compliments, accept it and return a honored gesture, but because they say that, don't be heads over heel. You know what I'm saying? For that, is it something you can say to women to have that positive community co-parenting for the sake of the child? What can we tell the woman?
Broken girls grow up become broken women. So a lot of things stem from their childhood. You would see some girls mimicking what their mothers did. They're seeing how their mothers are talking to the fathers or how they talk, period, the type of conversations that they have and how they carry themselves. And so a lot of young girls pick up from that. And that's what they start acting like. They start growing up around that, and that is who they become. So mothers have really got to be careful on who they bring around their children. Mothers have got to be careful the conversations that they have, what they say about the fathers, because I've been around some mothers and the things they say about the fathers to the children, and the young girls end up hating their dads. And I've seen it a lot. So the conversations that they're having with their children, they have to be very careful and teach them, how to love in spite of how to forgive. Teach them once again how to love themselves. So it really starts a lot from I'll talk about generational curses too, because your grandmother went through it, your mom went through it, and you're going through it, your auntie. It's just like a generational curse that you see where it's a lot of people self-hatred. You're not loving yourself. You don't think that you're worthy because you've seen everybody else go through it. Even when we talk about domestic violence, I don't want to really get too deep into that, but there are some things that we'll accept because we don't know who we are, and that's that generational curse, because you've seen them go through it. You've seen auntie go through it. You've seen mama go through it. You've seen grandma go through it. And you think that it's okay. So you learn to accept anything or anybody that says that I love you, but at the same time, you're getting beat upside the head. And I see that with our young people now. Our young girls, they're going through that. They're getting killed at such a young age. Like, you're too young to know what love is right now. You should be living your life. You should be getting your education. You should be thinking about college, but yet they're experiencing violence, also being killed because somebody said I love you and you decided you no longer want to be with them. It's a crazy world.
Right. Listen. I knew you had a great answer. That was so profound too, and that also allows us to segue into RTB. Tell us, what is this RTB? Talk to us.
I like the way you said that.
Talk to us. Tell us what it is.
RTB, yes, it stands for Removing the Bandages. Removing the Bandages is a women's movement and ministries, which I am the founder of it. So what I do is I help women to remove their bandages, speak life back into them, help them to understand that there is power and purpose, and that all the pain that they've gone through, there is something that God has promised them. They just got to take the bandages off, be real so that you can be healed. So that's what RTB is all about, baby.
And I want to commend you on that organization as well, and that where I was a recipient, of that. So you not only the women, but go ahead and tell when you're scouting what you're looking for when you honor the men.
Oh yeah, most definitely, and yeah, shout out to you for being one of the recipients. Yes, I love it. So we've been doing it now for, I guess, about, I want to say 8 years. And there was one year my mother and I had a conversation, and she said to me, you have a lot of men that follow your movement and support you. And she said, you need to start honoring men because men go through things too. They don't talk about it because they're taught to be strong. But men go through and they need to know that they're seen as well. So it was then that I decided, okay, we need to start honoring men. So men that have gone through tragic things, men that have, are survivors, men that are still standing, that never really get the opportunity to tell their stories. And so we decided, hey, the men need to be, shown that we love them, that we're supporting them as well. So that's how that came about when we started honoring men with the Men of Valor Award.
Awesome, awesome, and thank you for that recognition as well. But also, give us a little more in depth, like, and tell the people how to get involved, with that women's empowering ministry, and what are they to look forward to?
Yeah, well, you can get involved. Well, women can get involved. I do on social media. We do a lot as far as sisterhood brunches, sisterhood engagements. I host, as you stated, the red carpet event. I just hosted a retreat this year, what was absolutely amazing. A 3-day retreat. So doing that yearly. Just women coming together. We have every Tuesday night where we have prayer. Women call from different states. We pray together. We cry together. We talk. We empower and encourage each other. So it's just that open space that is a safe space so that women would have the opportunity to talk and just truly be their authentic selves, knowing that we can say, I'm not just my sister's keeper. I am my sister because I've gone through it. I can help you through it. And we're going to get through this thing together. I will not leave you out there by yourself.
Amen to that. Amen to that. So, real quick, give your handle so they can reach out. How can they find you? What do they need to do?
On Facebook, I am Sylinda D. That's SYLINDA D. You can find me there. And oh God, I'm on TikTok. I
TikTok,
never thought
TikTok.
I'd be on TikTok.
Got you on TikTok.
On TikTok, but I have over 20,000 followers on TikTok. So yeah,
Woohoo!
yeah. I'm constantly giving out those motivational messages.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I stay tuned. Anytime I see it, I'm listening. I'm listening.
Awesome,
Yeah, I mean, I'm
awesome.
just saying it's not, it's not a gender thing what you have going on. So it's not just a women thing. It's empowering humanity. You understand?
Ooh.
Yeah, yeah. So keep up the good work, because I'm noticing that people don't always click or comment, right? So for all of us that do a lot of great things and we feel that people are not listening, people are just not prone to asking for help. So if a lot of people, they won't ask. But I think social media also, the great part about it, that there's so much information out there. Great people like yourself giving out those affirmations every morning. There's a lot of people listening to it and taking notes, and I believe this real life-changing information and blessing that you're giving people if they really just understand why you're doing it. It's really. What do you have coming up? Anything coming up that people need to be aware of and mark their calendars?
This weekend I have the sisterhood brunch where about 22 to 25 of us are getting together. We're going to have our sisterhood brunch, just women coming together, having brunch, empowering each other, and just loving on each other, just bridging that gap of sisterhood. Many of us, Doc, have made I would say we've had goals. We've made resolutions, New Year's resolutions, and we've been motivated at the beginning of the year. But life started lifing, and things started happening. And so those dreams and goals and the visions that we decided that we wanted to accomplish fell by the wayside. And so, people are going through things. And sometimes you need to just take that moment just to breathe. You need to take that moment just to let your hair down and laugh, because if not, you're going to lose it. People are really experiencing a lot of mental illness at this time, and you just need that time just to just let go and just laugh and love and just remember, all I have to do is keep holding on. I'm going to make it. I'm still standing for a reason. And so we're doing that this
Yeah,
weekend, just get together. And that is my goal, to help people understand you're still standing for a reason.
that's
Take the
right.
band.
Talk. Let's I just wanted to give a rundown of some of your accolades. Dr. Sylinda has been featured on the cover of EGO magazine, The Voice, Atlanta, Strut, and is Kish magazine as well as other publications. She also have been recognized for having the top story for the Making News headline magazine. She is the recipient of the Woman of Worth Award, 2018 Woman Empowerment Award, the Strut Award, IGMA 2022 Champion Award, and honorary doctorate. I see you received, and has been recognized as one of the top 15 influential female trendsetters and women who are making history. She has appeared on the WALB News Noonday Show in dialogue with Carla, Phil Streetman Show, Atlanta Live, Preach the Word Network, and more. So tell me how you feel, when we have that vision and we put it in black and white and it starts to manifest itself. Um, what's that feeling, and at what point did you know you had something, to give the people?
I'm laughing because listening to you read that, it's like, wow, you never realize how blessed you are in
Mm-hmm.
the work that you've done. Sometimes I find myself asking God, am I really getting anything out of this? Why am I doing this? Sometimes you do want to give up. Sometimes you want to walk away from it all because you feel as though you're wasted your time. You put so much time in it. But then things such as what you just read, being recognized because of work that you've done. And when someone comes back and tell me you changed my life, that says so much. That is what keeps me going. That is the thing that gives me life. And I never saw this. I knew that God had a plan for my life. I knew that there was something that I would be doing, but I didn't know that I would be doing this. And I didn't know that I would have to go through so much pain. There's a prayer that I prayed, God, make me do something in me that you haven't done to any of my family members. I didn't know I would have to go through so much. You have to be careful with what you pray for. I didn't know that I would go through so much pain. There's so much that I don't even talk about. There are nights that I cry and I think about the things that I've had to go through. And I realized when I started to talk about removing the bandages, I started out with the page on Facebook and just invited people to be a part of the group. And people from all over, just everywhere, started to become members of the page. And we would talk about different things every day. I realized that I was onto something. Like, wow, people really do have bandages. We don't talk about it. We're taught to be dressed up. I said that we're beautiful but broken, dressed up but messed up. And so, having that page allowed people to come into the room and just take the bandages off. We became a family. And from there, I was asked to start writing books, and people would just reach out. Hey, I heard your story. I heard about your book. I want you to come on my show. I want you. That's how I even started with my own show. Just being on other shows and people just talking to me. Men started sending me messages and said, hey, I want to remove some bandages. And it was amazing the things that men shared with me too and trusted me because I gave them that safe space to remove the bandages and not talk about them. So God was showing me at that time that I was onto something, and it was
Right.
just a space for healing.
Awesome, awesome, man. I thank you for answering the call. The information and the topics that I've tuned into, I know they are life changing. Just the motivational part. Like you said, there's so many broken people, and people have to remember too, we don't look like what we've been through. And sometimes they come out doing conversations and finding those trustworthy people or those platforms such as yours. Um, give the brothers out here a positive message, man. It's like the brothers are going through so much. I don't know what type of crisis, identity crisis that the men are going through, but from a queen's, a mother's perspective, what do you have for the brothers?
I want our men to know that we need them. We need you. You are our hope.
Mm.
You are the backbone of the family. We love you. We believe in you. And there's a lot that you all have to carry, a lot that you all have to, you're told to be strong, you're told to man up, suck it up. But you all cry tears too. And I want you to know that we see those tears, we hear the cries, the prayers, we see you with your head down. But we want you to know that you're kings. You are king. There is something. I believe in our men. I really do. The world beats you down every single day. And I say this because of my brothers. I love my brothers so much, my biological brothers. I love them so much. And I let them know that I love them, that I believe in them. No matter what they've gone through, no matter what the world has dished out to them, I believe in them. I'm going to keep believing in them until the day that they die. And I want every man to know that you are somebody. It doesn't matter what you've gone through, what has happened to you, the mistakes that you made. You are somebody, and we need you. We really need you to stand up. Get up. Get up.
Mm-hmm.
We
Lace
need
them
you.
up, lace them up. Powerful, powerful message as well. And sometimes, you know, when we need to hear that. We need to hear that more than often. You know, sometimes, you know, brothers feel like, you know, we're only as worth as the amount that the check is, you know, and that's all we're for. I would encourage women everywhere. Like you got a brother, uncle, speaking to their life. You know, the men need it. The men really need it. You know, they feel like they on the island by themselves, and it's not often to get men to talk to men about different issues, even though it's a lot of men group, but I don't think they're being open enough to get the help that they need.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and sometimes men find women to confide in, and that works, and the men group work as well. But I think it's just a collective that it's time to love on one another, you know, and give it costs nothing to make a person feel good. Just to
Exactly.
speak life into someone that, you know, just I speak to people in the street, strangers. I'm still just that person though, because you can walk past people and see this look on their faces. Either they're afraid, people are just overprotective, and I'm always in the street making jokes and making people laugh, and a lot of time, you know, when they turn around and reply to me or respond, it's like they just all this weight just left off their shoulder just by speaking to them, and I still crack jokes like, hey, you drop something, just because I'm just like we can't just keep walking past each other like we robots and stuff like that in the communities, right? But so now with the RTB and your nonprofit, I also see that you work with youth as well. Can you speak to that about your nonprofit and working with the youth?
Yeah, I have a girls mentoring program called Girls to Pearls.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe I say it over and over: broken girls become broken women. So I want to my goal. I aim to speak to the little girl before she becomes that grown woman, helping her to understand truly at this age who she is, so that when she grows up, she's not growing up as a hurt woman. Inside of every grown woman, there's a little girl that's still screaming out for her father in some way. She still wants that father in her life, those that are hurt, those women that are hurt. And to be able to speak into our young girls, teaching them about bullying, teaching them about self esteem and loving themselves, because the world has painted a very beautiful picture of what we are supposed to look like, how we're supposed to sound, how we're supposed to dress, all of this, the titles, all of this stuff that our young girls are killing themselves trying to be. And I see it all the time where girls are cutting themselves, where girls are taking pills, where they're doing drugs, they're sleeping with different guys. I mean, I see it all the time. I'm working with these type of girls. They have no self-worth. They don't understand that they are beautiful and that it doesn't take all of this or that to be somebody. So I pour into them. I have sometimes I'll host a workshop where I have different women or men to come in and speak to the girls from different areas of their lives, different careers. Help. What do you want to do in life? You know, have some type of dream, have some type of goals, and praying with them and just empowering them, helping them to find the best part of them, discover who they've been created to be, and knowing that they have a purpose. They're not just here just to be living, but there's a purpose that's on the inside of them. And I'm so passionate about it.
Mm,
I'm so very passionate about it, helping them to understand that there is power and purpose on the inside of them. They just got to tap into it. They
yeah.
got to tap
You
into it.
gotta tap in, tap in. I always say you gotta tap in so you go in so you don't have to go without. And my mom, has always been influential in making sure that we have that empowerment piece and always putting God first.
Mm.
I'm always in my mind thinking of things as well. For those individuals that feel like they have messed up and there's no return, give those people a message. How God can take that mess and make a message.
Yes, he can. God loves broken pieces because what he does is turn those broken pieces into something beautiful. The backdrop of my movement is called the change of art, and that's ARTT. And what it is when you think of something beautiful, you think of a beautiful piece of art. God created us in his image. And every one of us, no matter what you are dealing with, disability, no matter what you think about yourself or what others have said about you, every one of us, I do believe that we are a beautiful work of art that God has created. And so, what the backdrop, I always say this with the ACE stands for acknowledge. You've got to acknowledge when there's something wrong, there's something going on in your life. And R, you got to remove the bandages. You can't keep holding on to those things that, dressed up in bandages. And T, you got to treat whatever the pain is. And then the other T is to take your life back. So acknowledge that something's wrong, remove the bandages, treat it, and then take your life back. And when you do that, you become this beautiful piece of art that God has created you to be.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So give the people your handles or website. What do they need to do to tap in with you, Dr. Sylinda?
My website is cylindad.com. Once again, on Facebook, it is Sylinda D. TikTok at the real Sylinda D. And I'm everywhere.
That's it.
Instagram,
That's it. Great.
Sylinda
Awesome.
underscore D.
Mm-hmm.
Sylinda underscore D.
So in your daily profession, what do you do?
I work for an orthodontist. I am an office manager in an orthodontist office, 2 locations, and I love it because I get the opportunity to meet people such as yourself, working with young people. I love a beautiful smile, so I get to see people come in and they're not loving their smile, especially young people because of their self-esteem. They're being bullied, talked about. They just don't like the way they look. But once the process is over, to see them have that beautiful smile and their self-esteem and to see that glow once again, it's like a ministry to me because it's not that you're just coming in just to get your teeth worked on, but you also get ministered to at the same time. And I meet so many amazing people throughout the day. So it's just a blessing. I love it.
And I was just telling my mom yesterday too. I think I was watching a video from Denzel Washington, and he has a powerful message as well. And he was mentioning how we all have a platform, no matter how big or small, to put that message out there. When you're dealing with the orthodontist work, how can we keep our beautiful smile? What can you tell them to do if they're having any kind of issues, or what issues are you normally seeing that people are overlooking? Let's deal with something that's more general.
Yeah, I see people not really taking care of their teeth like they should. That really plays a part in with your overall health. And that's something that a lot of people don't know that it can, as you and I were talking earlier, it can mess with your heart, your overall health. And so I see a lot of people not really taking care of you. You have to make sure that you're brushing, making sure that you're flossing, making sure that you're going to the dentist, just really taking care of your teeth. And if you have cavities, make sure that you go get your cavities filled. just doing the best that you can and staying on top of it. Everybody cannot afford braces. I've heard that a lot. Even growing up, a lot of people would say, "Hey, we can't afford braces," but just do the best that you can as far as your oral hygiene. Doing the best that you can, as I stated, brushing and flossing and taking care of them, and try to have good breath. So
Right. So
nobody wants to be around anybody with this
right,
tooth.
right. Well, so are there any resources for individuals to see an orthodontist that may not have insurance, or their grants, or their, is there anything that people can do to get in there?
Ooh, well, I wouldn't say that there are grants out there, but there are some programs. Right now we accept a Medicaid, and Medicaid does pay for braces. If anybody can get on that type of insurance, it does pay for braces in its entirety.
So we're gonna enter to QTV's rapid fire. This is just where if we missed anything, what would you like to give the people?
Dr. Q, again, I thank you for allowing me to be on the show. And I'm one of those that's authentic. I try to keep it real. We were talking before the show started, and I said I had to be very careful some things that I said, because me, sometimes I can just let it rip and I just get to talking and I just say what's on my mind. But we're living in a time where people have to be authentic. People are looking for people that's authentic, that's real. And sometimes when you are interviewing, you're doing a show, you're trying to make sure that you're treading lightly, you're trying to say the right thing. Don't look like that. I'm gonna keep it. So I just want to, again, I love speaking into the lives of people. I love helping people to remove those bandages off of their lives. We are so bandaged. This world is bandaged up. We are living in some crazy times. And what we do is anesthetize the pain with drugs. We're anesthetized with sex. We're anesthetized with alcohol. We're anesthetized with just so much, with clothes, and we go shopping, we do this and we do that. And we just have a world that's all bandaged up. But what we have to understand is that we don't have to live that way. We don't have to be that way. We were created to be free. We were created to be who God called us to be, and to live in purpose and for a purpose. One thing I can say is we got to stop asking for permission. We got to stop asking for permission to live. We got to stop asking for permission to dream. We got to stop asking for permission to be somebody, and know that when we were created, we had already been validated, we had already been qualified, we had already been set aside for such a time as this. And everything that you've gone through in life, you went through it for a reason, and you're still standing for a reason. It was part of the process, but you got to understand that your situation cannot outweigh your determination. You got to be determined. There is a fight on the inside of you. There is something that's in you, and you got to pull it out. You got to tap in. So what I'm admonishing, asking everybody to do is tap in this season. We're going into the second half of 2026. Make some goals, some dreams. What is it that you want? There is nothing too hard. And stop asking for permission. Listen, the bird don't ask for permission to fly. The lion don't ask for permission to roar. The fish don't ask for permission to swim. Baby, you don't have to ask for anything. God has already given you everything that you need. All you got to do is believe in yourself. In this season, you got to learn how to celebrate yourself. You got to learn how to clap for yourself. You got to understand that you can free yourself. Don't let nobody put you in a box. Don't allow it in this season as you go forward. So there should be something that you see different in this season that you're going in that you did not start out with. It's in you.
There's nothing new under the sun. And I often mention that a lot of times we're trying to become something. God has already created us. He said that he knew us before we was in our mother's womb. I tell people in my house, I believe we just need to remember who we are. Stop trying to become something. Because if we don't know who we are and trying to become something, then we've already been put together by the potter's hand. It's already done. It's already been written. So to try to become something And I hope this makes sense. We just need to remember who we are, who we belong to. Stop trying to become. We already that. We already that. We need to remember. We need to remember.
Yeah.
What was written, what was said, and how this, our life has already been predestined. We can't. We know you have a testimony because you passed the test. Everybody not here to live to tell the story. We are true survivors, along with countless other people. So I just say keep going. Please don't stop. Please don't stop. Give the people your social media handles again so they can tap in with the doctor.
Yeah, definitely. Once again, Facebook is Sylinda D. Instagram is Sylinda_D. And guys, follow your girl on TikTok at the real Sylinda D.
TikToking it.
Talking it.
Hey, so and I always tell my guests too, you got a Cash App or whatever, put it out there, because sometimes people want to be a blessing, and we gotta stop blocking them.
Yeah, Cash App is Glow On is capital GLOWWON. Again, that's capital GLOWWON.
And we'll have it in the caption as well. Dr. Sylinda, we're glad you came through the green room. This is QTV Multimedia. I'm going to let you go out with the last word, but what my notes I have is to acknowledge, remove the bandages. Is it treat the pain and take your life back? Is that right?
Treat the wound.
Treat the wound. I mean, make sure I get it right. What did I say? Treat the pain. You said treat the wound. Okay, I went off a little bit. Yeah. Yep. Okay, so give it back. Give us back that acronym again. Give it to us again.
Yeah. A is to acknowledge that there is something wrong. R, you have to then remove the bandage. T, you have to treat the wound. And the last T, you take your life back and you live.
Live. Take your life back. Take your life back. Dr. Sylinda, thank you for stopping by the green room. Hey, you have the last exit exhibit. So give the people something that you want them to remember you from today forward.
Hey, just go forward in everything that you've been dreaming about. I want you to understand there is power and purpose on the inside of you. You got to keep going. Don't you let nothing or nobody stop you. It's your season, your turn, and your time. Baby, you got to walk hard and walk heavy. Those are my words.
We'll see y'all next time. Doctor, thank you. Pleasure seeing you again. Hey, welcome to QTV, where pictures are worth 1,000 words, but the video tells it all. At QTV Multimedia, we aim to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly. QTV, man. Hey, they know it. Right there, ain't it somewhere? Is it over there way? But either way, man, it's that way, man.